What's up, y'all? My name is Nick and welcome back to Statedwoods Co. So today we're going to do something that we've wanted to do for a very long time. We're going to plumb the shop with compressed air. So we're going to run all the air lines. We're going to show you how to do that today. I've gone ahead and wired up the motor and everything to electrical. It runs on 220. It's a 60-gallon Ingersoll Rand air compressor. So there's a couple of ways that you can plumb your shop with compressed air. There's iron pipe, there's aluminum piping, there's copper piping, but all that can get fairly expensive. You can use PVC pipe, but over time PVC pipe starts to break down and get brittle and can cause a lot of leaks or some blowouts. So what we're going to do today, something that I like to use, and it's very easy to replace if you get a leak, is actual really thick, rigid rubber air hoses. We're choosing to use 1/2-inch air hoses just to get as much pressure into the shop as possible, and then it drops down to a 3/8 fitting and then the 1/4-inch fittings at the tools themselves.
One major thing to do when you add your own fittings to air lines is always use some form of a Teflon tape. It prevents any air leaks coming out from around the threads. To leave the compressor, I went with a 1/2-inch bushing, dropping down to a 3/8-inch quick connect. A quick connect allows you to easily remove and work on the line if any leaks occur or if you need to get to the compressor for maintenance or removal.
All right. So now we're all hooked up out here. Let's go inside and start running all of our hose. So now that we're inside the shop, it's time to go ahead and hook our system up to a filtration system. So we went with an Aero unit by Ingersoll Rand. This is a water separator or water filter, a regulator, and an oil lubricator. Most of the stuff that we're going to use this air compressor for is brad nails, pin nailers, air guns, things like that. So we wanted to be able to have lubrication running through so that our guns did not corrode or rust over time. So because we're using this flexible 1/2-inch airline hose, which is really rigid and really thick, you can see it right there. Since we're going to use this, it's going to be really easy to just mold this to the shape that we need, cut it, and go ahead and connect it.
Well, saying it was easy was sort of an understatement here. I think the connections that I used right at the Aero unit were really 1/2-inch size, and so is the hose, and so it was a little tight getting on, but man, did it make a really tight fit when we were all finished.
That's a really tight fit, but now that that's on there, we're going to use some crimpers to crimp down on this clamp and get a tight closed fit.
We repeated the process on the other side. I really like using these crimping clamps on these hoses. It allows for even pressure all the way around the hose to eliminate any leaks. I love using these one-hole straps to attach the hose to all the metal studs. We used it all over the shop. It's quick, it's easy, they hold really, really well. We ran all of the lines up and over the shop. Our 2 air reels are hanging from these metal studs in the ceiling. We also were able to get it off the wall. It looks a little better, no chance of damaging it at all, and this is the shortest distance to the reels, which also saved money.
Okay, to connect to the hose reel itself, we're going to set up a 3-way or a T. We've got everything tied down with our thread tape, and so we'll just thread it right in, and we'll tighten all this down here in just a moment. We're going to make sure that everything is lined up the way we want it. So you're going to have your hose come in from the air unit itself, come in, go to the reel, and then out and down to the next reel.
It's really important to get all these connections extremely tight. We'll see why here in just a little bit when we do a little water air test. While I was securing this first reel to the air line, Landon was going ahead and running the lines down to the next reel. And again, we went the shortest distance as a straight line, so we used the one-hole straps up above to just pull a taunt and get everything connected to the second reel. And again, you want to make sure you use a lot of Teflon tape to get a good seal on all your connections. You want to apply that Teflon tape in the direction of the thread, so as you screw it on, it doesn't want to unravel. Now at the end of the line, at the far end of the shop, I went ahead and put a dump, or just a ball valve, on the end of the line, just to allow myself the ability to dump any condensation that builds up past the air filter itself. Now just after about an hour of running lines, it's time to really fire this baby up and do some pressure tests. And once you pressurize all the lines, we always check each connection with a spray bottle and some soap. What that's going to do is that's going to sud up and bubble if there's any air leaks at your connections. If your connections aren't secure, you're going to get bubbles like this. You will either have to take your connections apart and add more Teflon tape, or just tighten them to make sure that they are connected and sealed properly. Once you test it again and there's no leaks, you're ready to go.
All right, so there you have it. In one day, we were able to plumb the entire shop with compressed air. And again, we used 1/2-inch rubber air hoses. And we did that because it'll be very easy to fix if we find that we have a leak. So one, we were able to run it much cheaper because we didn't have to run any metal piping anywhere. Two, it was a lot faster. And three, we're gonna be able to fix it when a leak arises or if a leak arises. So it just worked out perfect. So if you like what you saw today, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. We want to hear your feedback, and we want to see if you guys start plumbing your shop with compressed air. But until next time, we'll see you on the next video.